Okay, so we're going to learn what is text split. Well, suppose that you have a list of numbers, right? You can split it into a different column, right? Using the new latest Excel365 text split function, right? So basically just the value and then the delimiter, right? That's text split. So Um, so text split is the understands this, right? But what do you use it for? Right? You can use it for if you add a sum, right? Now, if you don't have this dash, right, what happens is that it becomes zero, right? Why is that so? Because after text split, right, it's going to be a text, but to sum, right, Excel required it to be numbers. That's why we put a double hyphen to turn this text into a number. So then we can sum, right? Now, the next thing is you can also, well, what if I want to choose only those odd numbers, right? How do you pick this odd number, right? So we got to use the lambda function, right? Let's take a look at here. Right? See here, that is so this is the whole function, right? So now we're going to use the lambda and then filter it, right? So you already understand that this text split is to turn it into a number list, right? And from here, right, we're gonna assign it to the parameter r, right? So and from there we use the filter function to filter uh, this current list of splitted numbers, right? And then from there we use the filter to choose those that is odd number. Then finally we go to the text join, right? So that is exactly what happened to this text join function. So here, so a lambda function, right? If it may this is the meaning of lambda, right? So you can accept parameters and then the calculations, and then you supply them the values. This value, right, will supply it into the parameters. Okay, so here is another quick example. Is that right? You give that a and b. You assign a and b as a parameters, and the calculation is a plus b, right? And then what is a have, right? Is 5. Right? What is b has, right? Is 10, right? 10 will supply into this parameter. So the same thing here is that you got to here. This is like a this is like an a, right? And then what do you put the value, right? It's going to put this into the here, right? Let's say I change it to a, right? Let's say I change it to a, right? So I just a, so you understand easier, right? A, okay. So a, okay, still work, right? So now you can see that a plus b, and then a b and the a plus b, right? So now the a, what you going to put, right, is this here. This is the a, right? So this data you're going to put into the a. So now what do you do with the a, right? Is that we're going to do some calculation. The calculation can be just a plus b, or you can use the filter function, right, to filter all those odd number. Okay, so the you supply the list, and then you use the filter function to check this, right? Mode A, and that is how we can use to find the odd number. Then how about is we just want to list those that is number, right? Let's example here, right? See here, you have a list, but you just want the fruits, right? So sorry, you just exclude all the text number. How to do that? Well, about the same, right? Except that we're gonna use this text join and then lambda, right? And then r. It's the same thing here, right? So it's here, this thing, right? Put into the r, and the filter function, right, is going to filter those that is number only, right? So this will convert into text. The is number is to check that list and then come back with all those number lists. And from there, we're going to text join it, right? So join it as this. So this is how we use this. Okay, is number, right? You can see here, this is the explanation of how do we check the is number. So we just want the filter will give you all the true lists. That's why 1, 2, 4, 5, all the true lists. Now, how about the reverse, right? The reverse is called is text, right? So so how do you do that, right? So is that if okay, so is that we use this function here, right? It's very quite similar, right? It's like lambda, right? Again, filter, but we negate it to be the is number here, right? You can use the this here, right? So we don't use the split here, right? So you can see here, right? If I move this to here, right? See what happens is that it will give you an error, right? So the same goes to here as well, right? So why is that so? Because that once the text split is turned into using the text split, right? It already caused an error because Apple cannot convert into a number. That's why it caused an error. So rather than doing it here, right? So we do it here. So there is a slightly difference here, right? So each number we'll look at each of the items and then check is it number, right? If it's number, it will just return a false, right? So it won't return an error, right? So that's how that this work, right? So this is the explanation here, right? So okay, the R, the that dash R, right, force an attempt to convert this. Okay, you can just see here, right? It's right there. Okay, so this is the RR, right? So RR force, right, force an attempt to convert the text, right there. This is intent, right? So if the is number tells if it's successful, it became a number, right? If it's not, right, then it just give you a false value, right? So now the not is just negate it, right? So invert, so the text is selected instead of number. So the question, so without the dash, right, as you can see that it will check the number as this, right? So if I don't have this, right, so what happened, right, is that it give you the list of 1, 2, 3, 4 because um those are not numbers, right? It's number, right? All of them are not number, right? Because there's no conversion, right? But if you do conversion, this is what happened, right? Okay, so that's the meaning of here, right? Okay, I hope this helped some of you here, right? Globally. Thank you, taxfully. Yeah, I got his here, right? Yeah, cool.